Welcome back to Tabletop Odyssey for our second of 5 campaign games in the world of Infinity N5. This matchup sees my Nomads take on the military orders of my opponent in countermeasures. Having stormed the vault last time, we're on a mission to gather intelligence and secure some high-value targets for our important research. My list for this engagement is as follows. In Group 1, I decided that I would be taking my baggage bot as a Evo hacker, and they will be paired with a Fiddler, who is an engineer, Zoe, a hacker with Highwell, a Lieutenant Moderator, my Spec Ops Moderator, who I've upgraded to have a Repeater, a third regular Moderator, a Dictari, to keep my living people alive, a Grenzer with Marksmanship, to be on ARO duty, and the Rounder with the Trinity upgrading hacking device. My second group has my armed turret clockmaker, who for this campaign I've boosted with a campaign ability to give them a second turret before reloading. I then have a Vertigo Zond missile launcher, a Transductor Zond with flash pulse, my Evader engineer with the AP Spitfire and the Firewall -3, which will be absolutely great attack piece once more. I've got the Hellcat paramedic with the deployable repeater to drop back behind them and help set up my network. And finally, because I had the point spare, a 10-point Salamandra pilot killer hacking device. My opponent's list consists of something along these lines. I might have got the exact profiles a little bit off, but essentially it looked a bit like this. And Group 1, they have a Tech B with a deployable repeater. They're just going to be hanging about near their reaction bot with the heavy machine gun, and that's the Sierra, I believe. They've then got the Mule bot with the Evo hacking device, the baggage, which is going to be supported in the Curator with the armed turret with the marksman rifle to help boost them up. They've then got a Warcore. They've got a Knight Hospitaller with multi-rifle, a Order Sergeant FTO with the heavy rocket launcher, and their Spec Ops Order Sergeant with combi rifle, as well as a Knight of Santiago with a killer hacking device and a multi-rifle, big scary boy there, and Joan of Arc, which I believe is with the extra command token, but I might be wrong. They then, in Group 2, they've got 2 Croziers, one regular and one with a Spitfire and MSV level 2. Quite scary there. They've got a Flash Pulse bot, a Crusader with boarding shotgun, and a Knight of Santiago who's going to jump in from behind with super jump. Quite scary there. I believe that is the correct list here. Now, military orders are going to seize initiative for this game, and in their round 1 they're going to start up quite aggressively here, ready to push into my deployment zone. I'm not liking this too much. They're going to start by using their Evo hacker, who I believe is sat over here, and they're just going to put down their assisted jump program. And then their Crusader is going to jump onto the back of this building over here where my sniper is sitting, and basically pump them in the back because I did not screen it out very well at all. Luckily the Grenzer does survive the first shot. Then Joan of Arc is going to lead her Haris team up through here, and they're going to kill the Fiddler. Well, knock them down to unconscious. They're then going to take a shot at my Spec Ops, who I believe is hanging out over here. And then they're going to go prone as they dodge. The Crusader is then going to take another go at the Grenzer on top of the roof, and they're going to knock them out. So it's not looking great here. Jones then going to take the Haris around the back of this building, where I've got a HVT over here. And then they're going to attack my pilot, who's around here, and they're going to kill them as well. The pilot is managing to drop down a cyber mine as they do so at least tries to screen out that area. The Pathfinder is then going to scoot upfield somewhere around here. And their engineer is going to drop a turret on the roof up here. The core team is then just going to move up this way, and they're going to take out my QAZ, who is over here. They're then going to scale up this building and take a shot at my evader, who is here, but nothing's going to come. It's a bit of a rough turn for me going into my first turn, so there's clearly a lot of work for me to do. So in my round one, I had set up quite defensively here. Obviously the Grenzer is now gone, so that's not looking good, and the Fiddler is gone as well. She's over here, she's gone, and so is this guy. So I'm going to start by using my own Evo hacker over here, so that my Hellcat's going to drop somewhere over here. And they're going to pop down their deployable repeater, which is going to be able to catch their robot right here in the bubble. And I'm going to throw out a speedball and a turret from my own engineer somewhere around here, I believe. Or in this gap at least. I'm then going to spotlight their reaction bot, and then use my missile bot here to take a shot at it. Unfortunately, they managed to dodge, so I'm going to have to use my rounder to carbonite this, and that's going to basically take this bot out for the rest of the game. My doctor behind this building over here is going to just heal up my evader, taken a wound, and then Zoe is going to move from around here, and they're going to take out the QAZ creature of my opponent, but unfortunately the turret over here is going to take her out. So my luck's really failed me here. Okay, the rounder is then going to hop out from back here, and they're going to attempt to take a shot themselves, and then they're also going to go down. So it's a massive, massive uphill battle from now. My Dactari does manage to shoot and take out the turret, and then saves the shot of themselves. My Salixon's then going to give marksmanship to the turret, because why not? And it's 1-1 at the end of this round, but their board state's obviously looking a lot scarier. They've got Joan of Arc huddling in this area here, and they are looking pretty threatening on this side. So in the military orders for round 2 now, Joan's gonna basically kick things up. She's going to move around to the HVT, and they're gonna vaccinate them before moving up here and killing my moderator, and then tripping on the mine. They do manage to save this though, and then they're going to continue right round here. Oh, sorry, killing this moderator, he's already dead. Killing this moderator, and then they're going to engage my flashbot here. See, my lieutenant over here does see this coming, and they're going to take a wound off the Knight of Santiago. Sorry, take a wound off one of the knights around here in this group. But unfortunately, the bot is going to die. Knight of Santiago is then going to drop in behind Zoe, and they're going to move this way, and do a whip roll to claim some points before dropping a mine down. And then the engineer is going to put down yet another turret. Bit more of a tamer second turn here, but they've clearly scored a lot. And now obviously they've got this big massive threat on this side, and they've got their Harus team in my deployment zone. So I'm quite worried at this point. So my second turn is going to try and gain some points and get myself back in the game here. So I'm going to start with my Evader round the corner here. They are going to take out up here. They're going to be able to take out the Crozier with the Spitfire, and they're going to be able to take out the turrets over here. Which is great. Then they're going to push the advantage and aim towards the Knight of Santiago down here. They have to jump down to do so, and they're going to take a mine from this, which is not great. My Hellcat decides that they're going to then hop up this building and take out the the Tech Bee, and then killing her, and then they're going to move up and they are going to score nano espionage on this robot here, as well as capture. My Spec Ops over here is then going to pop up, and they're going to take a wound off of Joan, which is great, but unfortunately they're going to go down in the reverse, which is not so great. My opponent scored 3 in this round, whereas I've only unfortunately managed to score 2 of my objectives with countermeasures, so that's 4-3 to the military orders at the end of this round. I am down but not out, but I don't have a lot to work with. So here's where things really start to get worse, as round 3 begins with Joan murdering my lieutenant here, which sadly I couldn't avoid, and then they're going to go on to complete nano screen on the Fiddler. And suspected infiltration on the Fiddler, as well as nano screen. The rocket launcher sergeant is then going to pop out and try and take on my turrets, which are here, but they're going to kill him. So Joan has to go and do it herself, killing both of my turrets, which is not too great. The Knight of Santiago is then going to come in and grab the final HVT, which will put me beyond the points of me being able to win this game. The best I can hope for is a draw now, and I have to hell lost my left hand. Understandably, this turn is rather difficult, but I can convert some orders into regular. So my Hellcat is going to be able to claim designation and vigilance over here for 2 points. Fantastic job this fellow's done this game. Really a crutch for me scoring some of these stuff from the objective deck. The Evader is going to try and score me the 3rd point here. They're going to come round and jump this rooftop to engage with the Crusaders down here, but unfortunately he's going to lose the face-to-face and die. As I've basically got nothing else to work with, I can't score the last objective. The game is going to end here, and after all the points are counted up, my opponent gets an extra 2 from the mission. On top of the 2 that they scored this round, and I only scored 2 from my objectives deck this round, so it's going to end 9-5 in favour of the military orders. Fantastic aggressive game plan from my opponent here. They really got inside my deployment and messed me up fairly quickly, and there wasn't a lot I could do in return. My characters, however, have all survived their medevac, so they are good to continue the next game. Tails between our legs, we are going to have to retreat from this mission, ready to regroup next time. Okay, so lessons learned. This was a very difficult game for me here, and I kind of had the full force of a Joan-led Haris team bearing down upon me. The fire teams are really showing where vanilla lacks in this example, as some of them can be very efficient uses of orders. Me not screening out my backfield well enough because I didn't realise that they had used their campaign points from their previous game to gain some extra list points. They were at 310 instead of 300. Something that allowed them to get that Knight of Santiago combat jump medal I didn't expect. So that was basically a massive swing in the first turn. And then I didn't have the Grenzeros on hero piece for the rest of the game as they knocked them out. So the momentum from this game just really carried on from there. Jones sweeping through one half of the board, killing off my important pieces like the Fiddler, who were quite expensive, and just sweeping through the backfield and claiming as many objectives as possible. I just had to try as best as I can and using things like the Hellcat to get into good positions. I did manage to claw my way back into the game a little bit, but it was just a little bit too short. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this report, and we'll come back for some more Infinity N5 in the future. This has been Tabletop Odyssey, getting flanked rather easily in 2025.